You know, John Walmsley, I mean, you know, I'm in awe of musicians anyway, and his dignity and kindness as a human being, his good humor, his unfailing, I could be such a jerk at 20, you know, to be the star of a television series at like 22, 21 years old. Can you imagine anything more obnoxious? And I would look at John and his unfailing good humor and beautiful deferential graciousness, as well as his wonderful performance. And then he'd sing and play the guitar and get up and play the piano. And I thought, wow, I really wish I did have some skills. So, you know, but it was just a wonderful thing to see that week after week, and his kindness as a, you know, as a person. And then I think about Cammie, who is, look, here's a learning experience, okay? It's not quite like when I was 10 years old, but here's a learning experience. All right, I decided, we got to pick our places at the dining table, right? You know, they came to say, okay, where do you want to sit when you have dinner? And we all got to pick our spots. And then directors would come in and say, well, we want you to sit here, and why don't you sit over there, Mary? And then we go, no, we have our places at the table. And then the director would have to direct the scene around the way, you know, because every family, you got your place at the table, right? Well, in my infinite wisdom, I decided to seat myself between an adorable and incredibly talented 6-7-year-old and an adorable and incredibly talented old scene stealer named Will Geer. Never put yourself on camera between an adorable 6-year-old and an adorable grandfather figure, because no one knows you're there. So if I could pick another scene, I would probably pick the same one. Cammie was the most beautiful and perfect small actress I ever worked with. The exquisiteness of her voice and her energy and that smile, and not to mention the hair, but you can't not mention the hair. And you know, her to be that young, and because I've done that, you know, I have that T-shirt of being that child actor on a set full of giants, you know, and her eagerness and unfailing professionalism, even when, you know, she'd have to get cranky because she was tired or she was hungry, you know. Her ability to come to work at that age with those professional chops was, and still is, all inspiring to me. She's also just about one of the smartest people I've ever known in my life, and very wisely decided that there were bigger and better fish to fry in the world than the entertainment business. You know, you can talk to Cammie about so many things, mainly children, education. It's an extraordinary thing. She's just, I wish you all could know what a deep person she is and what a pleasure she is to be with. But she was something else as a baby actor, really, you know, and I'm sorry you stopped. I really am, because there was a lot, not for you, I'm sorry, for me, I'm sorry, you know. And this one, Mary Ellen and John Boy, right? Yeah? So for years, everywhere I'd go, people would come up, they'd talk to me, and the first person they'd ask about is Mary Ellen, is Judy, right? Well, how's Mary Ellen? Where is she, and what's she doing? What's she up to? And as if I, John Boy, would know Mary Ellen, what she was doing. Judy, my sister, her clarity as a person, her ability to see things clearly, her ability to cut through the stuff, and to be absolutely honest with where she's at as a person, really made her an extraordinary actress in that respect too, because she could just put it right down in every scene, and that was a tough part to play. Mary Ellen, discontented, knowing that the world held more for a young girl than she was told or that she knew, knowing that as a young girl there was so much more out there in the world for her, and the frustration of not being able to live that life and have that strength right there at that moment as a teenager. I can't think of anybody who could have portrayed the angst and the frustration and the vulnerability of being a teenage woman, than Judy Norton. I mean, and her collegial qualities and ethics, and all the work that she's done after that, her singing, her choreography, her writing, her producing, her directing, her love for the theater, all these things that have carried forward have filled me with nothing but admiration for all of these years. And I'm so grateful that I got to spar with you and go toe-to-toe with you and all those wonderful, wonderful scenes that they wrote for us. How siblings can love each other and completely misunderstand each other at the same time. What a wonderful person, what a wonderful sister. And this one, Eric Scott. The funniest, toughest, sauciest, naughtiest, and sweetest person you could imagine. Underneath, if you know Eric, or if you've been around, underneath that tough guy talk, and underneath that great, wonderful sense of humor, naughty sense of humor, beneath that, I don't care, I've got it all together, I don't give a damn. There is the sweetest, soft center. If ever there was a hard candy with a soft, sweet center, it's Eric's. Right? Am I right about that? You know it, right? I mean, just crunch down on it a little bit, and it's raspberry cream. We had so much fun. We were so bad. And we were so bad, only John Ritter was worse. And he was. When John and I had to be separated like bad kids in a classroom all the time. But Eric's Ben, was just the most extraordinary character. He was always a little man. He was, in some ways, he was like, not the tallest Walton, but in many ways of all the Walton kids, the one who had his feet firmly planted on the ground and who was just tough and strong and was going to get it done no matter what. And it was a beautiful thing. But he was, did he keep us laughing or what? All the time. Okay, so Eric, thank you. Thank you for being a wonderful brother. I love you so much. Thank you. He loved it. Okay. Mary Elizabeth McDonough, because I always have to have the Elizabeth in there, A darling, shy, redheaded, shy. You played shy. You were shy. Not anymore. There was something so plaintive and so fey, in the sense of a child having an inner life, a very delicate inner life that she created in the role of Erin, right? Someone who was not assertive necessarily, who wasn't going to be combative like Mary Ellen, who was that sister and that child who very easily could be like to the side because she was shy or she was self-effacing. But what you sensed always in a beautiful, beautiful performance that Mary gave year after year was the deep, deep inner life, the spiritual life, the softness and the kindness and the sensitivity of this young girl, a young lady, in a beautiful sense of that word. It was extraordinary. And then Mary, who is a dynamo. You would never know if you watched Erin Walton, the incredible dynamic energy that Mary McDonough has. In many ways, Mary has kept us all together as a group of people, as a family. She's really been, I'm really mad about this, okay? But if there are emails to be sent, if there are things like this, or people to get to come together, any ways for us to communicate with each other, anytime we can be together as a family, how are people doing, bringing us and keeping us together. Mary has been so diligent. She has been, if not our mother, certainly a kind of den mother for all of us in terms of the effort and the work that she's put in to keeping and maintaining our family together. All of us kids. And I can't think of the energy, the commitment, the love, and the care that took. And I've always been grateful for it, because I'm very lazy about these things. I'm very bad I'm a terrible correspondent, and I'm always, in my own bubble, in my own world. And then I get these emails from Mary. Hey, brother. Always. Hey, brother, should we get together? I'm going to be in town. Can we meet? Hey, brother, I hear you're coming to Los Angeles to do a show or somewhere. Let's all try to get together. It always reminded, every time an email came up from Mary, I knew I was hearing from family. And she still does it, and it's extraordinary, and she's been, in so many ways, our glue, and I'm so grateful to her for that. And I'm going on about everybody, because these are some of the most important people in my life. And if I'm going to talk about gratitude, I've got to talk about your parents, and you got to talk. But this is gratitude that wasn't sent to me by DNA. This is gratitude that came my way. These are things that just came my way. These people, and God. If you want to have fun over an oyster dinner, you got to do it with Don. Now, there's some folks who aren't here. David couldn't make it this time, David Harper. I want to talk for a minute about David, because David, who was